Biological Classification, Session 7. In the last module, we had learned about the chrysophytes and dinoflagellates of kingdom Protista. In this module, we are going to learn about the euglenoids, the slime molds, and the protozoans which comes under kingdom Protista. The third type which comes under kingdom Protista is the euglenoids. Majority of the euglenoids are freshwater organisms. They are seen in freshwater and they have a protein-rich layer called as pellicle. So the cell wall is rich in protein and this layer is called as pellicle, and this pellicle gives high flexibility to their body. We can see the picture of the euglenoids. This is a picture of euglena, which is a classic example of the type of organism which is present in euglenoids. And they have two flagella, and the flagella of the two flagella, one is short and the other is long. And again, the speciality of euglenoids are they have dual mode of nutrition. If there is sunlight, they take up the photosynthetic mode of nutrition. That means they become autotrophs. Whereas if they are growing in a situation where it is deprived of sunlight or there is no sunlight, they immediately shift their mode of nutrition to the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So that's a peculiarity of euglenoids. They have dual mode of nutrition. That is, they can be either photosynthetic or they can be heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So example is euglena. So euglenoids, they are freshwater organism. And what is the protein-rich layer which is present on the cell wall called as? They are called as pellicle, and it gives flexibility to the euglenoids. And there are two flagella present. One is long and the other is short, and they have dual mode of nutrition. Slime molds, like the other rest of the three, are not photosynthetic. They are saprotrophic. We know saprotrophic. What are they? They are organisms which live on dead organic matter and bring about its decomposition. So unlike other protists, slime molds are saprotrophic, and under suitable condition, they form an aggregation called as plasmodium. They form plasmodium, and during unfavorable conditions, when the condition is not favorable for the propagation, the plasmodium differentiates and forms fruiting bodies bearing spores and their trips so that they can propagate under unfavorable condition. These slime molds, they form aggregates called as plasmodium, and these plasmodium, they form fruiting bodies, and these fruiting bodies have spores at their tips. We have learned that spores are a method of asexual reproduction in which they are thick-walled and they help the organism to overcome the unfavorable conditions. And when the conditions are favorable, it germinates into a new organism. And these spores possess true walls and they have extremely resistant and survive for many years. So slime molds, unlike other protists, they are saprotrophic, and the speciality is that in order to overcome the unfavorable conditions, they form plasmodium, which helps in the production of spores. The last type of protist we have to study is the protozoans. The protozoans are heterotrophs and live in predators or parasites. So the first three, that is chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, and euglenoids, are photosynthetic. Slime molds are heterotroph, but they have the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Whereas the last type is the protozoans, which are heterotrophic. They live either as predators or parasites. There are four major groups of protozoans. They are amoeboid protozoans, flagellated protozoans, celiated protozoans, and the sporozoans. Let us learn each in detail. The first type of protozoans are the amoeboid protozoans. These organisms, they live in fresh water or in marine water, or they are also seen in moist soil. They show amoeba-like movements with the help of pseudopodia, which are false feet-like structures, and these pseudopodia, it helps to move and also capture the prey with the help of the false feet called as pseudopodia. Example of an amoeboid protozoan is entamoeba. It is a parasite which causes amoebic dysentery, which causes amoebic dysentery in humans. The second type is the flagellated protozoans. These members are either free living or they are parasitic and they move with the help of flagella, hence the name flagellated protozoans. And the parasitic forms cause diseases such as sleeping sickness. Example is trypanosoma, which causes sleeping sickness. This is a picture of trypanosoma, which causes sleeping sickness and is having a flagella with which it can move. The third type is celiated protozoans. What does the name indicate? Celiated, cilia. It's having cilia. And these protozoans, they are aquatic. They are actively moving organisms because of the presence of thousands of cilia. This we can see there's a picture of paramecium and around it there are a large number of cilia. And they have a cavity called as gullet. This is the gullet portion. And with the help of cilia, the food which it detects is pushed towards the cavity called as gullet. Okay, and this gullet opens to the outside of the cell surface. And that's example of celiated protozoan is paramecium. And the last type of protozoan is sporozoan. Protozoan is sporozoan. And these sporozoans, they include diverse organisms, and the peculiarity of sporozoans or why they have the name sporozoan is because they have an infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. And just because of the presence of the spore-like stage, they are called as sporozoan. And the most notorious sporozoan which causes an infection to humans is the plasmodium, or it is called as a malarial parasite which causes malaria in
Thank you.
humans. So the four types of protozoans are the amoeboid protozoan, the flagellated protozoan, the celiated protozoan, and the sporozoans.